There are people who walk softly through the world, yet somehow shake entire generations awake. People whose presence feels like a quiet flame, warm yet gentle, steady, bringing light, not with noise, but with truth, compassion, and unwavering purpose. Onerva was one of those rare souls. She was more than a colleague, more than a visiting expert, more than a respected educator. Onerva was a visionary, a mentor, a bridge between continents, cultures, and classrooms. Her belief was simple, profound, and revolutionary: that every child, everywhere, deserves the tools to read, to count, and to thrive, no exceptions. Her calling led her deep into the world of special education. Children with visual impairments, hearing challenges, developmental disabilities, and speech and language difficulties. She created programs, founded clinics, trained generations of educators, and stood as a voice for students that society too often overlooked. But her work could not be contained by borders. From the 1970s onward, her influence traveled across the world to classrooms, clinics, and communities from Europe to Australia and finally to the heart of Africa. She led the ground-breaking Stafrica project, training over 50 African special education teachers in Finland between 1982 and 1986, a program that shaped entire national education systems, including Zambia's. Her arrival was not just the arrival of an expert, but the arrival of a guide. Someone who walked alongside Zambian educators, honoring their realities while expanding their possibilities. Her work at the assessment center, her gentle leadership, her unwavering belief in inclusive education, these became pillars that continue to support the department to this day. The story of special education at the University of Zambia began decades ago, long before inclusive education became a national policy. Established in 1989, the Department of Educational Psychology, Sociology, and Special Education grew from a simple conviction that children with diverse learning needs deserved understanding, assessment, guidance, and above all, dignity. By the mid-1990s, the department had begun shaping the first generation of special education teachers. In 1996, with the introduction of the Bachelors of Education in Special Education, the program expanded its vision, its staff, and its reach, producing graduates who would go on to influence classrooms, districts, and national policy. But something transformative would happen that same year. A partnership began, one that would reshape assessment, training, and research in Zambia for decades. In January 1996, through collaboration with the Onerva Mäki Institute of Finland, the Special Education Assessment Center at UNZA was born. It became a place where children could be assessed with care, where new tools could be tested, and where local educators could train under international expertise. Expertise that would soon include the compassionate brilliance of Onerva Mäki. And among the many people whose lives and professional pathways were touched by Onerva was Dr. Oswell C. Chakulimba. When he first met her here in Zambia, he didn't just meet a visiting scholar, he met a mentor of rare humility and depth. Their time together left a lasting imprint on his work, his perspective, and the way he approached both learners and teachers.
I am Oswell Chakulimba. I used to work at UNZA some years back. I worked in the School of Education as a lecturer. There I was an assistant dean in the school. I was the head of department for educational psychology, sociology, and special education for about 10 years. Then I served as a dean in the School of Education from 2012 to 2018 for 6 years as the dean of School of Education. And I retired in 2023. That is quite an interesting question. I first met Onerva Mäki, I think in February 1992 on a project ESSP 10, which later became number 6. That is training of teacher education for teachers of the handicapped, which was sponsored by FNIDA. And I met her in connection with the establishment of special education in the University of Zambia, and of course at the College for Teachers of the Handicapped. The program was already there, but we wanted to have now a diploma program. Onerva was very professional in her work, hardworking, very considerate with other people. She had the experience, she had the knowledge, she had the skills in special education, and very helpful guiding. I mean, she was the expert. In that time, I wasn't in special education when we started this program. I was in sociology of education. But she did help to guide how we'll go about the introducing special education. So in short, she was very professional, she was very good, she was considerate, she respected the views of others, including my views when I was just somebody outside the area of her expertise.
Okay.
She made them feel very free. She encouraged everyone to participate in formal meetings, guided us, and informally she was very friendly, very easy to get along with. And I think everyone enjoyed Onerva Mäki's, what would I say, presence wherever she was. I think she made things easier, she made things enjoyable, and made people feel very close to her. And I can't exactly express myself how she was, but she was an outgoing personality, very outgoing, formally and informally, at the personal level and the professional level. She was very good. Definitely her work in the area of assessment in special education affected, first of all, our community, let's say university community, and the community surrounding the university, and of course the whole of Zambia, because her work touched a lot of people here in Zambia, and of course in Finland. I can't even speak of that, but I speak of Zambia, that what she did really affected a lot of young people with disabilities, old people who had children with disabilities. The assessment work which she started, we started the UNZA Special Education Assessment Center in 1996. We opened it in January 1996. It was based on Onerva Mäki Institute model, and that affected a lot of people, not only in Lusaka, but across the country, because they came for assessment to the assessment center.
Okay.
One, that you have to be very open to the people, whether you are leading them or they are leading you. You have to be honest, have to be hardworking.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy your work. I learned quite a lot in terms of leadership. She helped me in the leadership as a head of department, as well as the dean of the school. I think I learned a lot from her. She was a good teacher for me. She was a role model, let me put it this way. She was a role model to me, and I think to a number of colleagues. And I treasured her hard work, I treasured her honest, I treasured her guidance, that you have to and flexible and be, jovial to other people. She was really jovial. At personal level, we are very good friends. Even a family, she was a family friend. We spent a lot of time with her. My family, I think, was very close to her. We had done a number of things together here in Zambia and in Finland, where she invited us during her graduation for honorary degree.
He saw her long hours, her careful attention to detail, her belief that literacy was not just a privilege but a fundamental right. Together, they shaped programs, strengthened research, and guided communities towards more inclusive learning. Together with African colleagues, she helped develop BASAT, the Basic Skills Assessment Tool, Banuka, the Basic Numeracy and Calculation Assessment, tools that changed how Zambia recognized and supported children who struggled. As years passed, the foundations laid at the University of Zambia grew into something broader, something that could reach even more children in different local languages with more tools. In May 2011, the Center for the Promotion of Literacy in Sub-Saharan Africa, CAPOLSA, was established at UNZA. It was born from collaboration between the University of Zambia and the University of Jyväskylä in Finland, and backed by the expertise and vision of the Onerva Mäki Institute. That same spirit of international cooperation and dedication to inclusive education brought Onerva to Zambia and lived on in this new center. From the very start, CAPOLSA worked closely with the networks and methods introduced by the Onerva Mäki Institute, the same international research traditions that had brought Onerva to Zambia decades earlier, adapting them to different Zambian languages, contexts, and classrooms. Through CAPOLSA, the legacy of Onerva Mäki took a new shape. Her commitment to inclusive early learning, evidence-based support for children who struggle, now broadened beyond special education into foundational literacy for all learners. CAPOLSA's work included producing early grade reading materials into multiple indigenous Zambian languages, harmonizing orthographics across languages, translating stories and poems, and ensuring that children learn to read in languages they know, preserving culture, identity, and dignity. It also meant modernizing approaches, working with digital literacy tools, deploying interactive teaching methods adapted from the grapho learning research of the Onerva Mäki Institute, a fusion of global research, local language, and Zambian classrooms. In this way, CAPOLSA became more than a center. It became a living bridge between continents, between research and reality, carrying forward the vision Onerva had helped seed, connecting Finnish pedagogical insight into Zambian needs and turning it into hope for children across the country. In July 2025, the world said goodbye to a woman who had changed far more lives than she had ever claimed. But even in her passing, her light did not dim. It merely passed into the hands of those she inspired. Thank you, Onerva Mäki, for your courage, your compassion, your brilliance, and your relentless belief in every learner's worth. Your legacy lives in every classroom where a struggling child finally feels understood. Your quiet flame still burns.